to work with you to drive innovative solutions to big challenges. Let me talk about one of the ways we try to do that. In the coming year, the U.S. Embassy will send more than 300 rising leaders to the United States through a range of exchange programs built to strengthen U.S.-Kenya cooperation and joint innovation. I had the chance to sit with Mahmoud earlier today and hear about how some members of SwahiliPot have already taken advantage of fields of endeavor. Thinking about that, and I really was touched by the fireside chat about mentorship this morning. This year we have launched a new alumni association. And the purpose of that alumni association is to harness the power of those 6,000 Kenyan leaders so that we can invest in their big ideas and amplify their unique experiences that they have had in the United States. As I said, we already have links to this program to our population in Mombasa, where we see some of the most dynamic leaders and innovators among that group of alumni. And we're grateful every day for their many important contributions, whether that's community development or economic growth or environmental protection, which is so important here along the coast. So let's think about that for a second. We're on the theme of mentorship. We have this group of extremely talented young Kenyans who have had an exposure to the opportunities, not just of Kenya and thinking about entrepreneurship and thinking about leadership, but the American perspective on that. Can I ask you to think about how you might tap into that group? What are the opportunities that you can see? And then follow up, right, to see how you can plug yourself into that, whether it's applying for those exchange programs yourself or finding someone who's participated in one, who would have experiences or network or thoughts or support to share. More formally, U.S. support for investment in this coastal region takes a lot of different forms. I'm proud to share, or to repeat today, that following the historic state visit of Kenya to Washington in May, the United States announced a major project in partnership with the National Museums of Kenya. This is to help renovate and restore the Takwa ruins in Lamu, an important monument to Swahili civilization, culture, and history in East Africa. That grant is going to help transform the historic site bilateral relationship. We thought about this. We thought about the future. We thought about the demographics that I've already spoken of. And so we launched a new educational exchange program with a focus on science, technology, engineering, and math. Sometimes people call it STEM, right? STEM as fields of the future. This Kennedy and Mboya exchange honors a memory, honors the personal bond between U.S. President John F. Kennedy and Kenyan political activist and academic Tom Mboya, a bond that brought hundreds of Kenyans to the United States to pursue higher education. We thought about how transformative that was to Kenya in the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, and then we thought about the future. How could we connect that kind of exchange impact, that kind of activation of youth? How could we think about that for the future? And so this Kennedy and Mboya exchange program, continuing the important work of building people-to-people connections and advancing our shared goals. places around the world, Europe, Asia, and Africa, and in Africa, see what we've been able to do in Malawi and DRC and here in Kenya. Channel that into the democratic processes that Kenya has so that your vision and your voice is heard. The way I think of it is that you should be investing in the political system and in civil society the way we're thinking about investing in you. Now, as proof of our commitment to your innovative spirit and entrepreneurial potential, especially here on the coast, I get a special job today. I get a special treat, and that is that I get to announce a new program in partnership with our friends in SwahiliPot today. And we're going to call that program Scale Up Mombasa. All right. With new funding from the U.S. Embassy, the Scale Up Mombasa initiative will strengthen and catalyze the growth of Mombasa's startup ecosystem. We're aiming to support scalable new enterprises. Maybe it'll be a company that one of you starts. We want to help focus all this entrepreneurial energy on the opportunities that are here, especially to you and to Kenya. We're convinced by Kenya's trajectory in its leading economy,